UFC 251 Cannonier versus Rodrigues. We've got a sick fight night on our hands here tonight, guys. Um, all jokes aside, it actually is pretty good. I'm pretty interested in the main event. Got some fun fights on here, some prospects. I'm excited to see what happens in this card and how it unfolds, and I'm happy to break it down for you guys. And let's go from there with the opening banger of Julia Avila versus Jacqueline Cavalcante. Not going to spend a lot of time on this, guys. One girl's built like a box. The other one is a better striker. She should just outstrike her and win the decision or get like some late finish or some shit. I don't know. Should be something like that. Yeah, Jacqueline Cavalcante should be a pretty easy pick here. I don't really feel like I need to break it down too much. Fuck's sakes. Next up, we've got Dontel Mays versus Walter Walker. Battle of the Oafs here. I'm kind of got a heavy lean here to Walter Walker. I feel like the wrestling prowess should be enough. Walter Walker isn't coming in looking like he's fighting diabetes the week before the fight. He's actually been coming in looking like he's in good shape. Hopefully this picture was taken recently and he is to be in good shape, and that is true. If that is the case and Walter comes in looking good on the scales, I think he should be able to do a little bit more of what Shamil Gaziev did to Dontel Mays and have his way with him on the ground. And I think he's got a lot more finishing potential than Shamil Gaziev on the ground. So give me Walter Walker by like a first round submission. I think, why not? Okay, next up, this is kind of a fun fight here because we have Elijah Smith, who is an up-and-coming prospect in the bantamweight division. And, we've got Vince Morales, who's kicked from the UFC, made his way back. And, he's not a bad fighter. He's got good technique, and I think he actually is pretty good. But the problem is I don't think he's that athletically talented or gifted. I feel like it's another situation with, like, what you had last week with, like, Thicknessy versus Topuria. I just think Vince Morales is going to just get athletically mogged here. I think Elijah Smith, Vince was having trouble with, who did he fight? Taylor Lapulus, I believe. He was having trouble with, I think it was Taylor Lapulus. I could be wrong. But, he was getting kind of speed checked by him last fight. I'm going to look it up just to be sure. But, I think Elijah Smith has got really solid fundamentals. Really just everything's very basic and good, and he's very fast. And I really like him as a prospect in this division. So I'm going to go with Elijah Smith. I think he's going to be the better fighter overall and just have better fundamentals and get the job done. Like I said, just athletically mog Vince Morales. Yeah, it was Taylor Lapulus he had trouble with. So, yeah, every time this guy goes against somebody who's, like, semi-decent in the UFC, he just loses. So, he's a can crusher, and I think that's all he's destined to be. Unfortunate for him because he's worked very hard at it and not made anything of it. Okay, next up, we have one of the Bonfim brothers. Both of them are going to be fighting on this card. Gabriel Bonfim versus Chaos Williams. The track record of Bonfim against black guys has looked pretty good so far. I don't think he's lost to any black guys thus far. I think there's a good chance that changes this week against Chaos Williams. I really want to pick. I don't think Chaos Williams is that good either, but I don't think Gabriel Bonfim is that good. I think the Bonfim brothers suck, to be quite honest. It's just whether or not I want to fade both of them this week. That kind of feels a little crazy. I feel like one of them will most likely get the job done, but does Chaos Williams really beat Gabriel Bonfim? Yeah, I'm gonna take Gabriel Bonfim here. I'm gonna take him to get the job done here. I think Gabriel Bonfim will beat Chaos Williams. I think he's a little bit more versatile, and I think his striking's a bit cleaner than Chaos, who I just feel like, in his name, Chaos Williams, man, I just feel like, I don't know, eye test alone, I just don't think he's that good. I get it. Gabriel Bonfim doesn't move his head very much, and, that same game plan Chaos did in his last fight, or I believe it was his last fight, where he just kind of touches the body against Carlston Harris, touch the body, and then come up top with the overhand right or something. I think that's definitely a viable game plan. I wouldn't be surprised if he does that to Bonfim. But I don't know. I just see Bonfim just having a little bit more versatility and having a little bit too much for him. I'm not. Yeah, I'm picking Gabriel Bonfim. I am fading the other brother, though. Okay. Rafael Estevam versus Jesus Aguilar. I'm actually quite excited for this fight. Mainly just to see if my read is correct, because I don't know why the odds are as ballooned as they are, minus 500 for Rafael Estevam. I think, Jesus Aguilar never gets respect in his fights. And I think this fight in particular is going to look super similar to the fight with, I think it's Mateus Madonka is his name. Yeah, Mateus Madonka, where Jesus Aguilar actually pulled off a split decision win. Man, I think it could look very similar to that. I think Rafael and Mateus Madonka are essentially the same fighter. Rafael might have slightly better judo and slightly better jiu-jitsu, but apart from that, I don't really see where the difference is. They look similar on the feet, they look similar in the grappling. I don't know. Jesus Aguilar had his way standing back up. I think Rafael's going to get multiple takedowns in this fight, so I think that's definitely a bet that I'm going to be looking at pretty heavily. Apart from that, I do think Rafael is a slightly better version of Mateus Madonka, so I think I'm going to pick Rafael Estevam to get like a split decision win here against Jesus Aguilar. I don't see any random subs happening. I think Rafael is way too responsible on the ground. He's good at when he shoots. He keeps his head kind of across the body and like up to the chest. He doesn't just shoot on one side and dip his head into a hip or anything like that. So I'm not too concerned about the guillotine or anything like that. So I think Rafael Estevam feels pretty good this week, but I would set the odds at more of like a minus 170 for Rafael or minus 200, and then Jesus, being like a plus 110, plus 150, something like that. Next up, we have Jared Gordon versus fucking Masharaban Ruziabayev. Here's the thing with this fight, guys. Jared Gordon is the way better MMA fighter, and he should just dominate this guy for 3 rounds and 10-8 him in each round, because Ruziabayev is sloppy as fuck, wings punches, terrible at fighting, terrible. But here's the reality of the situation. This guy does fucking chuck. Jared Gordon is 36, and he's chinny, and I could see him getting comfortable in there, 10-8 the first round, dominating the second round. And I'm just saying this, guys, it could definitely happen. Anybody who's thinking about putting big money on Jared Gordon this week, because I know he's going to be hot here. I don't know the odds. Yeah, I think they're close enough where people would be in love with this spot. I wouldn't be, man, because I could just see Jared Gordon, like I said, winning every single round, every minute, every exchange, every strike, until he's not. And I'll tell you what, the way that Ruziabayev throws, if he lands clean on Jared Gordon, he is going to sleep. So that's just something I'm not willing to touch with a 10-foot pole. Jared Gordon should absolutely dominate this fight, but I would not be shocked at all if Ruziabayev is getting dominated, and then at the end of round 2, he just sleeps Jared Gordon out cold. And I could see the little Twitter things popping up like, man, Jared Gordon's back, man. 36 has never looked so good. And then out of nowhere, just gets absolutely slumped. I could see it. So, I don't know. I'm picking Jared Gordon, but to win by decision. Actually, I think if he wins, he'll probably get a finish too. I don't think this fight goes the distance. But next up, we have Angela Hill versus Ketlin Sousa. Sick fight. This is, I feel like, Angela Hill's fight to win. She's not going to be some Yasmin Jauregui coming in there and just sitting down in the pocket and chucking with Sousa. She usually, when she does get in that range, she's usually all the way in or kind of like all the way out. She's really good at like clashing in and controlling the clinch, and she's got good takedowns, good wrestling. The only thing that's scaring me away from Angela Hill this week is that she's 40 years old, and that is quite frankly it. That win over Denise Gomez is super impressive to me, and it's like, I think Denise Gomez, I don't know. It's a weird matchup, Denise Gomez versus Ketlin Sousa, but I think Denise Gomez probably beats her. And obviously, you can't just do MMA math. So with all that being said, nah, man, I can't pick her, man. I can't pick her. I can't just have an L here. Nah, man. I have to go with Caitlin Sosa. I'm telling you, Angela Hill's gonna win this fight. I can't pick her, man. I can't pick her. She's 40, bro. Insert the Conor McGregor. Nah, man. She's 40. I can't pick her. Okay, yeah, we're gonna go with Caitlin Sosa to win that fight by decision. Let's just say it's gonna be a close fight, okay? Angela Hill should win. But Connor Matthews versus Jose Delgado. Connor Matthews, the controller. Get this guy the fuck out of the UFC, man. Jose Delgado's gonna knock this guy out. Get Connor Matthews the fuck out of here, man. Rodolfo Vieira versus Andre Petroski. This is a tough fight to predict. I don't really think it's as cut and dry Rodolfo Vieira as everybody thinks, because I can definitely see a world where Petroski already has low volume. That takedown just is never there for Rodolfo. But what I also see is that, Andre Petroski has been knocked out by smacking his head on somebody's hip. And, he just doesn't strike me as the highest IQ guy. Whereas Rodolfo seems very clinical, like game planny, and, very strong, muscular, methodical. Like, these are words that I'd describe Rodolfo Vieira. And, I'm not in love with it. I think Petroski, I think he should win this fight. I'm not in love with it, but I could also see himself just getting himself into a dumb situation. But, eye test alone, I'm picking Petroski. I get it. Rodolfo's got the jiu-jitsu credentials, and he's good, and all that. But I guess I'll pick Rodolfo Vieira. I guess I'll pick him. I'm not in love with it though. I guess I'll pick him. I definitely think Petroski could win, and I think he probably should win. I'm not in love with it, man. I'm not in love with it. We're going with Andre Petroski to win. No, we're not. No, we're not. All right, Ismail Bonfim versus Nazim Sadikov. If you guys couldn't tell, those fights where it's just like a toss-up, like I don't even want to pick anybody in those situations. Like, I want to go with my gut, but at the same time, I also want to go with my brain. So that's where you see that shit going on. So Ismail Bonfim, I think he kind of sucks, man. I think that last fight against that 50-year-old kind of showed off how bad he is. Nazim is actually quite good. At times I'm like, dude, this guy has pillow hands, and then he drops somebody and fucking cracks them. So it's like, I never really know what to think about him. At times I'm thinking his grappling's trash, and then he shows like good grappling. So it's like, I don't know. He is pretty good. Sometimes it feels like he's being too technical. Like he almost forgets that he's fighting, and he's just like being so technical. He's really clean. He's got good like reactions, like good instincts, good fight instincts, and looks like he's very well trained. Like I said, almost too technical at times. I think he's gonna have his way with Ismail Bonfim this fight. I think first round you could probably see him struggle a little bit, but after that, I think once he gets comfortable in there, I think he's gonna start running away with it. I really think Ismail sucks. I think the Bonfim brothers suck. I want to fade both of them. Honestly, I kind of want to do a parlay of just fading both the Bonfim brothers this week, but Ismail definitely sucks, and I think that's a pretty easy fade. And I think getting Nazim here at plus whatever, at plus 170, man, I might be loading up on Nazim here. So tell me if you want. I want to fade both the Bonfim brothers, but I have to at least fade Ismail. So that's gonna be that. Next up, Edmund Shabazian versus Dylan Budka. Dude, Edmund Shabazian fucking sucks, man. He sucks. And Dylan Budka also fucking sucks. Let me just give you a hint. I want to fade Edmund Shabazian so bad, and if this was anybody else, I would be fading him. But Dylan Budka's name is the Mindless Hulk. The Mindless Hulk, man. It's just, dude, Edmund sucks, bro. Like, he sucks. His striking's not that impressive, and he's not that good anywhere. But at the same time, Dylan Budka also blows, so it's kind of tough. Like, I wanna pick like Dylan Budka. I don't know why. I'm just feeling like a weird injury for Edmund or something, or like, I don't know, Dylan lands something weird. But I'm gonna pick Edmund. Like, other than just like weird vibes, that's the only reason why I'd pick Dylan Budka. But other than weird vibes, Edmund should just be the better striker here. And Dylan Budka's not much of a grappler either, and he's not really good anywhere. Edmund should just be the better fighter. I think minus 375 is fucking crazy after seeing how bad Edmund's looked recently. I don't know, man. Shoot yourself. Edmund usually loses to grapplers only, and Dylan's not a grappler, so, Edmund should win. Like I said, he should win, but I don't know. I wouldn't be shocked. All right, Calvin Kattar versus Yusuf Zalal. I'm going with Yusuf Zalal. I mean, he's the more complete MMA fighter. Calvin Kattar's fucking 40 at this point or something like that. He's coming off knee surgeries, whatever, blah, blah, blah. It's not a boxing fight, man. If it was, I'd pick Calvin, but it's not. You know, Calvin's always been overrated in my opinion anyways. I'm going to go with Yusuf Zalal. He's going to get a takedown, wrap him up, and sub Calvin Kattar. So that's just what I'm picking. Now, this is the interesting fight of the card. This is it right here because, you know, when you see this, you're thinking, man, they're feeding Jared Cannonier to Gregory Rodrigues, man. Damn, man. Why they doing Jared Cannonier like that? But if you really watch tape and you really think about the matchup and you're like, man, Gregory Rodrigues really just like comes forward a lot and he has his chin up in the air a lot and he throws wide a lot. And it's like, who would you? Okay, but he's got a great chin, right? So that's what he has. He has an incredible chin. He's got like heart. He's got a ton of power, tons of power in his shots. He's not really that fast, but like I said, he throws hard as fuck, and he throws a lot. He's got good cardio, good volume on his shots, good power, good everything, but keeps his chin up. His defense is kind of lacking. He uses his chin and says, "I'm tougher. I'll take the harder shots." It's like, if you had to design somebody to beat a guy like that, he needs stopping power. We saw a guy like CLD, like the guy who dances around and does shit like that. It's not going to work against him. You know, it's not going to, like, complete the fight. That's why I'd also pick Gregory Rodrigues to beat Kyle Borrallo. But if I were to design a guy to beat Gregory Rodrigues, it would be like a Jared Cannonier, man. Like, I'm dead serious. A guy that can sit down and have some stopping power and be able to fire back with fast shots. Like, Jared Cannonier's fast, man. He throws hard and fast, and I'm worried for Gregory Rodrigues in this fight, man. I am going to pick him because the one fucking X factor that just keeps standing out with these types of fights is the age, man. Jared Cannonier's 40. I get it. He's looked good, and, you know, he's looked like he's been on EPO against, like, a Marvin Vettori and something like that. But don't get it confused, man. This is not Marvin Vettori. Like, if Gregory touches, and I'm not really concerned about the cardio as much as I am his chin, you know, all I'm saying is if Gregory touches him, like Jared, there's a good chance he goes to sleep and actually goes to sleep, and it's not an early stoppage like that Nasruddin fight, right? But all I'm saying, man, is if Gregory gets a little too sloppy, a little too early, I could see Jared getting like a second round finish, man. Like, I'm not even kidding. Like an early second round finish. Like, Gregory just comes forward winging something, and Jared just fires something right down the middle and cracks Gregory and falls him down to the ground with some ground and pound. I wouldn't be shocked at all. I am picking Gregory Rodrigues to get a finish. This fight's not going the distance. Throw some money on it. It's not going the distance. Every time I say that, it ends up going the distance. So do as you will. But anyways, guys, that is going to be it for me. Hope you guys have a good rest of your day. And I'll see you later on this week. I'll actually hopefully get another video out. Anyways, take care.